Welcome to 3 Count Commentaries. Today we're going to talk about the matinee version of Rampage from April the 15th, 2022. We got a couple of news and notes here for AEW. First, Jonathan Gresham has officially signed with AEW, which shouldn't be a surprise considering he is the Ring of Honor World Champion. This was kind of a decision Tony Khan had to make. You know, I figured when he put the belt on Gresham, officially, either he's going to quickly take it off of him or he was going to sign him. Apparently he signed him. So there that go. I guess that means Battle of the Belts. Even though I know that the spoilers exist, I don't know who won anything. But knowing that Jonathan Gresham was signed and Dalton Castle wasn't, kind of gives away the finish to that match. So there that go. The second thing, Toni Storm finally opened up on why she left WWE. She also wanted everybody to know that she's not doing porn. She's just posting sexy pictures online and that's it. But she's not doing porn. So as I tell people all the time, the leaks are already out there. She don't need to do porn. All right. The leaks are already out there, baby. But this is the reason why she said she left WWE. She says that, I'm not saying that I have a problem with WWE at all. I'm actually really grateful for the time that I got to have there. I learned so much and you know what? It was cool. It was real and it was cool, but in the end, it wasn't real cool. Something just happened and I left. I felt like I was having an out-of-body experience, to be honest. Have you ever just lost your mind? That's kind of what happened. The stress of not seeing family in years and then just so many overwhelming things all at once. I've been happier than ever since. I guess I just freaked out and went home. So everybody's Toni Storm quit because she was getting hit in the face with pies or all of that stuff. None of that was the case. It was just she came from the UK to, the United States. And I'm guessing the UK is probably a closer trip to being home. And she hadn't been home in a long time. She got homesick and then she just decided to quit her job because she was homesick. And maybe there's more to it than that. Maybe there's not. I don't know, but this is the first I ever heard of it. And because it's not trending topic number 1 on Twitter, when she talked about it for the first time since she was released, she didn't make any immediate statements about it or anything. This was the only comment I had ever seen of Toni Storm talking about being in WWE. She had nothing negative to say except I freaked out and went home. So that means she couldn't handle the pressure of being away from home. Now it's not a big deal because Finn Balor, has talked about it too. But she's a young lady. She's 25 or 26 years old. I'm guessing that she and Juice Robinson are not married yet. I don't know if they're married or not yet, but whatever it is, she hadn't seen her family since she moved to Orlando, and she just kind of said, "Fuck it, I don't want to live in Orlando anymore. I want to go home." So instead of asking for time off, which she probably wouldn't have gotten because she is so young and she was just getting called up, she could have just asked for a break. And I don't think it would have went over too well considering she wasn't on TV for a long time. She could have went home during that time. And then with her being so new to the roster, people just kind of been like, you just got here and you already asking for time off. That probably wouldn't have worked out. So maybe she did the right thing and she quit. I heard some people, there's a conspiracy theory out there that, oh yes, there was maybe some contract tampering and that there's maybe some people in WWE or in AEW rather that are contacting various people within WWE and trying to get them to quit and to come over to AEW and all that kind of, it's a mole in WWE. And I just say no, because WWE fired most of these people themselves. like Toni Storm and Jeff Hardy both left under dubious circumstances. But it's not like it's a secret mole. Everybody knows that Matt and Jeff are fucking brothers. It's not like a big deal. Like there's no secret surprise there. It's probably Matt saying, "Hey, you could probably get out of this contract if you really, really wanted to get out of it. You couldn't get out of it." And and Toni Storm just freaked out and went home. So it's not sexy, so that's why it's not trending. If it was I got into it with Charlotte, I hate Charlotte, then it would have been top trending topic and everybody would have been talking about it. But because she was basically saying like, oh yeah, I don't know what happened to me. I just decided to quit. Then that was enough. All right. So the last, news and notes. Well, it's 2 more I should mention. Brian Cage, he says that NXT rescinded an offer to him and told him he was average at best. And I have to say, WWE being that savage, I don't believe it. I don't believe it because they would never tell him the truth to that degree. I don't see anybody who's running NXT and who would have been maybe William Regal or Triple H or somebody like that at the time. I can't imagine anybody telling him the God's honest truth like that to his face, as blunt and as harsh as it would have to be to send this guy a text message or an email or whatever and tell him that he's average at best. WWE is an actual corporate situation. They probably would have come up with some bullshit about, hey, we have too many guys with a similar look. We kind of diversify right now. We're going younger right now. They would have gave him something else. They would have did literally anything else. They wouldn't have told him like, look, your skills are garbage, because look at his look. Looking at his look, they wouldn't have cared if he was an average worker. You know, they wouldn't have given a shit. You know, they signed brick shit houses like Brian Cage right off the street. If you built like that, they will take you. You know, so I don't believe at all that Brian Cage was told that, you know, he got rejected from NXT for being an average wrestler. I don't believe that at all. Plus, especially considering NXT was hiring people who didn't have any fucking experience at all. So no, I don't believe that one bit, but it ain't wrong. It ain't wrong at all. Brian Cage is the shits. He's garbage as a performer. But I just don't believe WWE would ever tell him the truth. So I don't believe it. I don't believe WWE would tell him the truth, especially not in an email or in any type of professional or manner. They'd have told him some other bullshit, and they'd have sold him a bill of goods. You know, like, oh, you're perfect for us right now, but we wanted you to go and get some more seasoning. Like they told Britt Baker, go finish college. Go finish college first. If she wasn't any good, go finish college. You know, then we'll talk about it. The final thing is probably the funniest, and it's Tony Khan dunking on a fan after the fan said something to Tony Khan on Twitter. Oh my God. So this is about Satnam Singh and Satnam Singh's debut, where Tony Khan apparently went on Busted Open Radio, and Tony Khan said that he would have hired or done Satnam Singh's debut a little bit better, and it wasn't his idea to do the lights out bit, but he approved of it. People said that Tony Khan was throwing folks under the bridge, not taking responsibility for a bad idea. So some fans decided to tweet at Tony Khan that he was being wishy-washy and he should have just owned that it was a bad segment and all that kind of stuff. So this is what Tony Khan replied. He says, "Yep, I said I came to TV with a show outline, then heard out ideas on such details. I picked the wrong one. I'm amused anyone says I threw someone under the bus to say that the idea was from someone with 30 years of experience. Who did I throw under the bus exactly? Where's the mystery body? You just said that it came from somebody with 30 years of experience. So what are we supposed to do? Be Twitter detectives and look for everybody who is on your roster that has 30 years of experience to say that might be the guy? Because it could be Arn Anderson. It could be Tully Blanchard. It could be Chris Jericho. It could be any number of guys in AEW who have 30 years of experience. Jim Ross could be him. Could be Tony Schiavone. He got 30 years of experience. It could be anybody. The fact of the matter is, you said it wasn't you. That was the focal point. That was the main piece of it, not the detail of the person with the 30 years of experience. It was Tony Khan not just saying, hey, it was my call. Too bad. You know, it sucked. Sorry. But this wasn't it. Somebody responded, all I know is literally all of us have the same amount of booking experience as you did when you started AEW, but you aren't ready for that conversation. And Tony Khan responded, yeah, and that's why I am first to say the fans are always right, and that this is a great example of what the fans knowing what they're talking about. The fans are always right. I'm not so sure about that. I'm not sure about that. Look, I know that it's good customer service to say that the customer is always right, but I don't think that was meant to be in all fields all the time. In restaurants, maybe the customer should be always right. But in certain situations, the customer don't know what the fuck they're talking about. In certain specialized fields, the customer does not know what the fuck they're talking about. I'm not going to go to my doctor and start telling him how to perform brain surgery or a liver transplant because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. All right, so I'm not going to do that. The customer is not right. Right? If you're a construction worker and you're a brick mason or something like that, you need somebody to build a porch. Somebody coming up telling you how to build a porch falsely, and you got 100 years of experience, 30 years of experience building fucking porches. You're like, hey, look, buddy, I know how to build a fucking porch. Let me do my thing. Get the fuck out of here. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're not a stonemason. All right? There are certain specialized fields in which the customer is not right because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They only have an idea of what they want. And then you come along and you say, oh, this is what you want? All right, I know how we can make this happen. That's the only thing anywhere near the customer being right in certain fields. There are other fields in which the customer is always right. Okay? There are certain fields where you make things. If you, like when I go to a restaurant sometimes, customer says, I want a steak well done. The chef will send the fucking customer some medium rare shit and say, trust me. Now, I don't like that. Okay? I don't like that. But I've seen people do that. And I've seen menus that will say, the cook makes every steak to this bar. They don't do well done steaks. You have to trust the chef. If they had something like that on it, then you walked into it knowing that. But the customer is always right. I don't believe in that absolute. I don't buy that absolute. I don't buy into that. Sorry. I know that some people seem to think so. Customer isn't always right because customer don't know everything. They can't know. There's a reason why you're the doer and they're the customer. You know, there's an information asymmetry there. You are a specialist. You're supposed to know in certain specialized industries, of course. So there's our times when the customer is always right. So this guy continues to mess with Tony Khan by saying, no, Tony, that's why you need to hire a booker that's done this before. And then Tony Khan says you need to hire this ratio. And then the guy, of course, gets ratio because it would have been easy. Tony Khan is beloved by everybody on that side of the internet. So he could have just put a period and would have ratioed the guy. So it is what it is. Of course, he's incredibly thin-skinned to even get into this debate with this fan on Twitter. It's silly. It's absolutely silly. And you can look at it and tell this guy cannot take criticism. He must be under a lot of pressure. Tony Khan is trying to buy friendships. He's trying to buy people to love him. I mean, look at this shit that Tony Khan has done. Not only did he launch an entire wrestling promotion from the ground up, from the dirt, because he thought there was millions and millions and millions of people. He was sold this idea that there was millions and millions and millions of people who don't watch WWE that were sitting back waiting for an alternative. He was told that for at least 5 to 10 years. He was like, there's Meltzer and Alvarez and all of these guys. Where did all those millions of people who love pro wrestling, where did they go? And he's like, yes, these people exist. So he launched $100 million into the ether and birthed All Elite Wrestling. He paid exorbitant sums of money for Chris Jericho and Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega. And then he came out of his ass even more for CM Punk and Bryan Danielson, and he brought in every middle card wrestler that every wrestling fan wants. He bought Ring of Honor. He spent between $10 and $40 million on that. He has done every single thing that these people want, and this company still is not growing, and these people are still criticizing him. Of course he's going to begin to crack under the pressure. How much more fucking money could he spend? How much more money could he possibly spend? For fuck's sake, he was getting criticized 2 weeks after CM Punk showed up, after he spent probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $7 or $8 million for CM Punk. He has to realize at some point, it ain't about the money you spend. You know, it's all about, there are a subsection of people who will never be happy with what you do. Never. That's why Vince goes to the gym. He doesn't tweet. Vince goes to the fucking gym. He does not tweet. Tony Khan, go to the fucking gym, please. Get a girlfriend, please. Hit the showers. Have sex. Get a fucking clue. Stop arguing with dweebs online. There is no benefit to this. There is no benefit to this, except but to rile up the base. And that he's like a politician in that way. Again, Vince goes to the fucking gym. He goes and lifts weights. You could talk about how the old man's got dementia. He's a fucking idiot. He doesn't know anything. The title ain't mean shit since 2001. Vince is fucking stupid. He's running the company into the ground. The whole time while you yapping, Vince is in there lifting fucking weights. You don't even exist. Tony Khan trips and falls every now and again with some bad ideas. He gets universal criticism, and he finds a way to get online and start arguing with people about it. It's the stupidest fucking thing in the world. Why would you do this? It's stupid. You are a billionaire. Don't argue with people. Okay? Don't. Just say, look, man, it was a fuck up. We'll move on. Got Rampage tonight. We back with Dynamite next Wednesday. We're not gonna make that mistake again. All right, let's move on. I wouldn't even respond to this fucking guy. If I got access to billions of dollars, trust me, he could be sitting in a bubble bath surrounded by the baddest bitches on earth, and I still wouldn't even be tweeting this stuff. I wouldn't even let anybody know I read this shit. Tony Khan has got to be the most insecure dude on planet Earth. And spending all that money is not helping him. All right? People telling him how to spend his money, knowing that he got it, not helping him. Not helping him one bit. But Tony Khan needs help. He does need help. He should hire a booker. He should just chill. Why he feels like he needs to be so hands-on with the company, I don't know. Like, who the fuck told him he needed to be so hands-on? It's not smart. You know, like I know he's surrounded by all these people that are smart. He needs to delegate some tasks, man. Let some of this shit go. All right, let's get into this show finally. Almost 20 minutes into the news and notes, but I got to get that off my chest. I'm sorry. The Blackpool Combat Club, which features Wheeler Yuta now, defeated the Gun Club. The match was Wheeler Yuta pinned Billy Gunn. He also kicked out of Billy Gunn's finish in this match. His secondary finish, his actual finish is the Fame Master. I don't think he uses that move anymore. Now he's using the Cobra Clutch Slam, which he used when he was the one Billy Gunn. The one of the many failed Billy Gunn pushes. I guess the point of this was that Wheeler Yuta broke the Gun Club's undefeated streak, as if anybody gives a shit about the Gun Club anyway. Like, nobody saw them win anything. Who cares? There's people out there who are insisting that Wheeler Yuta is a star now, or becoming a star, and it's like, no, I don't understand. I don't think you understand what a star is. You know, a star is somebody who's recognizable, who's bankable, that you can actually push and make money with, not just somebody who fans clap for. You know, fans clap for anybody. That didn't make him a star, man. Come on. Plus, a lot of you people loved him anyway, because you saw him on the independent, so you were a fan of his anyway. It's not like you're converting non-fans into fans. You're converting fans into fans. It's ridiculous. The Butcher wrestled. He beat some guy they didn't even name. The guy got to do a top rope drop kick on the Butcher, and the Butcher no-sold it. That was interesting. There was a powerbomb finish. Nobody cared. Dustin says that he's been on his last ride for a while now. That he knocked Lance Archer out of the top 5. But he knows that the war with Lance Archer is not over. But then says that he wants to have a special match, a bucket list match for him. He wants to wrestle CM Punk. And, of course, the match was made official. And I actually do like this match. I actually like the idea of Dustin versus CM Punk. I don't think we got to see Dustin versus CM Punk in WWE at all. Maybe if they did, it was probably on an undercard thing on Raw. I like Dustin. I'm a big fan of Dustin. This ought to be really good. It ought to be a really good wrestling match. No storyline, just really good wrestling match. Third match, Ruby Riott is finally back on TV. She defeated Robin Renegade and Charlotte Renegade, who did twin magic in and out of the ring. This match went a little longer than I thought it would. Ruby Riott had not wrestled on television for 113 days. 113 days she was off TV. We'll see how much longer it takes now. Restart the clock. Because, but Robin Renegade and Charlotte Renegade using twin magic. I know a lot of people, it bothered a lot of people because it reminded them of the Bella Twins. But to me, that was the strongest part of the Bella Twins act. It was utilizing twin magic. Like, what makes people stand out is the unique things that they can do. The Bella Twins being able to uniquely switch in and out and you not be able to tell the difference and wrestle the match in a way that was believable as both of them were in the ring or one or the other was in the ring was actually a fun gimmick. You know, I know it got tiresome because they did it a lot, but why wouldn't they do it? You know, like it's easy heat. Why wouldn't you do it? If you have a twin, you have somebody who looks just like you, swap in and swap out. You know, Demolition used to fucking do it and they don't look alike at all. Demolition used to do the old twin magic. You know, so I didn't mind twin magic in this situation. I think that elongated the match a little bit longer than it should have. I would have liked for Ruby to beat the wrong one and then so the other one can have a reason to complain. That would have been a nice little twist if Charlotte would have got into the ring and got beat. And then Robin could have said, I wasn't beat. Charlotte got beat. And then they could have said, oh, well, the AEW officials don't care about whichever one of you got beat. You got in the ring, you lost. And that was it. But I didn't hate the twin magic stuff. I hated the length of this match. So, Adam Cole and, Hangman Page. The biggest match in Rampage history, I was told. Not Christian versus Kenny Omega, but Adam Cole versus Hangman Page. Hangman Page says that Adam Cole is obsessed with him, obsessed with this championship. He's going to end his obsession tonight. Adam Cole says he's going to remind everybody that he is the better Adam and that he's always been better than Adam Page. And that he's going to kill Adam Page, and Adam Page is a dead man. You're a dead man, Adam Page. This match was a Texas death match. Was essentially a Falls Count Anywhere match. Not Falls Count Anywhere, I'm sorry. Last Man Standing. Those are essentially the rules. Texas death match is pinfalls and submissions. Last Man Standing is no pinfalls, no submissions. You do a pinfall, then you got a 10 count. That's a Texas death match. So, there's a couple of spots in here. There was a chain clothesline by Adam Cole. That was okay. The Panama Sunrise on the chairs, even though he didn't even reach the chairs. A top rope throw by Adam Page. It was kind of like a T-bone suplex, kind of. Then the finish was the barbed wire wrapped around the head of Adam Cole, leading to a dead eye off the apron through a table. I mean, just absolute massacre, right? That led to Adam Cole not being able to answer the 10 count. Sean Ross Sapp, wrestling journalist, was one of the few who noticed that on Good Friday, they did Christian symbology by putting a crown of thorns or barbed wire halo over the head of Adam Page before winning the match. And some Christians were offended. Now, a lot of them did not notice it until Sean Ross Sapp said something about it, which I think is complete virtue signaling. Like, if you didn't catch it until Sean Ross Sapp made a joke about it, then you have no reason to be upset. But some people were upset anyway, because they kind of noticed it. I don't think people should be mad about it anyway. I just don't see it as being something that should be upsetting, because I don't think they were trying to do Christian imagery. I don't think they were trying to. I don't think that was the idea. I think that Sean Ross Sapp was just a guy who thought that was funny and pointed that out. That's what I think. I don't think they were going out of their way to be offensive. But there was a guy in the crowd who was trying to be offensive. And he brought a sign to the show. And I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but it says, pro-science, pro-choice, pro-wrestling. And I think that encapsulates the AEW audience better than most other things on planet Earth. They're a bunch of leftist goobers. Cheeto beards. That's what they are. But the show, the main event actually wasn't as bloody or as violent as I thought it would be. You know, there was a bad blade job by Adam Cole. It was not good. The match was okay, you know, but I don't see this being a huge draw for anybody. You know, And now Adam Cole has lost and he's not in the world title picture anymore. What on earth is he going to do now? His only hope is he's a buddy of the Elite. So now he's going to still be around as a buddy of the Young Bucks. But he's lost all of the cachet that he had, all the cool factor that he had when he came in. They sucked that right off of him real quick. You know, Adam Cole was probably as hot as Bryan Danielson when he first came in. Not anymore, you know. And by this point, man, he's not on the scene anymore, you know. And I got to give Tony Khan some credit for sticking to the guys that brought him to the dance. They're sticking to Hangman Page and some of the guys who were in the company before Adam Cole got there, and not immediately jumping ship like TNA would have done and abandoning ship like they did with AJ Styles all those times where they just kind of just threw him to the sideline for X-Pac or Mr. Kennedy and whoever else came in. They didn't do that, you know. Especially since I watched Marky D 123 video on Orlando Jordan and saw they had Orlando Jordan pin Samoa Joe. I was like, that's such a TNA decision. That's such a TNA decision. We're going to bring in a WWE guy, a low card guy, and have him beat our main event guys. They're not doing that in AEW, but they're also not putting a lot of emphasis on these big talents that they went out and purchased. It just seems stupid to me. And they're not going to get the most out of Adam Cole with him being in a nothing mid-card thing or in all that elite shit. They're not going to get the most out of him doing that. But it's a decision they decide to make. So now the situation is, what do we do with Hangman Page? And I'm guessing CM Punk is next. That ought to be interesting. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys later.